Well, we finally know the 2018 Oscar nominations are out, and The Shape of Water is leading the way.
The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro and J. Miles Dale produces.
Yeah, you may have heard quite a bit about this film. It has a whopping 13 nods, including one for Best Picture, and it's followed by the epic war film Dunkirk, which has 8 nominations. So, a lot to break down here. We have more to talk about with our film critic, Gwen Reyes from FreshFiction.com. Got to start off right off the bat with Best Picture, which has a lot of nominations.
Has 9 nominations. The pool is open for 10, but in here we've got Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, which we know has the second most nominations, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards from Ebbing, Missouri, which is probably the front runner right now for Best Picture.
I have to say, just looking at this list here, I'm really surprised to see that Get Out made it.
I know, I am too.
Typically, I mean, it was a popular movie. Lots of people were talking about it, and usually the talkers don't always end up in this.
Absolutely, and especially in this one because it came out really early. Last year it came out like February or March of 2017, so it had to spend an entire year building momentum and steam and interest. And the funny thing, Alicia, this is actually my favorite movie of 2017.
Really?
So I did a little jig this morning.
I still have a lot of homework and sitting up to do because that is quite a long list. But this is a perfect segue to talk about the nominations for Best Actor.
Yes, for Best Actor, we've got Timothée Chalamet, who is brand new here. He is the star of Call Me By Your Name, which was a beautiful, stunning film. Also, Daniel Day-Lewis in The Phantom Thread. And fun fact, this is actually his final film, at least for now.
Yes.
This is his retirement film. So we'll see. Daniel Kaluuya, who is from Get Out. Gary Oldman, who is the front runner going into this. He won the SAG Award over the weekend. And finally, Mr. Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israeli, Esquire.
All right.
And what a title.
It is quite a mouthful there. Let's get to the Best Actress category now.
Yes.
Any surprises there for you?
You know what is funny is that there really weren't any surprises going into this one for me. This was very reminiscent of what we've seen for PGA, for the SAG Awards. This is nothing new. We've got Sally Hawkins, who is Shape of Water, Frances McDormand, who just won for 3 Billboards over the weekend, Margot Robbie and I, Tonya playing Tonya Harding, and she was wonderful in that.
I loved that movie.
I loved that movie.
She did a great job in that one.
Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird, which is such a sweet and charming film, and then finally the Queen, Meryl Streep, for The Post.
All right, and now let's get to Best Director.
Yes.
This one sort of surprised people, I think we can say, right?
Yes, I definitely think so, because there was a lot going into this of how are the Oscars going to deal with their reputation of kind of not bringing enough women into the categories, not having enough people of color. And in this one, we have a very colorful and very inclusive list, because we've got Christopher Nolan, our resident Brit, is here for Dunkirk. Jordan Peele, first-time nominee for Get Out. Also, Lady Bird's director Greta Gerwig. This is her first nomination. Phantom Thread's Paul Thomas Anderson, and The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro is the front runner for this currently, going into this because he did get a lot of steam with the SAGs and with the PGA.
So we have a black man, a woman, and a Hispanic man in that category. And you know, we talk about the criticism that the Oscars have faced with Oh So White, movement, right? So Mike, I want to ask you though, do you think though that when we have so many more people being nominated, people of color, minorities, are these true nominations based on merit, or are we simply trying to make the Oscars look better by nominating more minorities?
You know, it's really good. That's a really great question, because I think that you can see it either way. I think definitely in this, we've got much younger people that are part of the voting pool now. They've invited many more people of color, many more women to be a part of the voting committees of these. So we are going to be seeing some reflection of that, because they're the ones that went and voted. But I do think that there's also a lot of promotion and push behind this of saying, well, this is our opportunity to prove that we're being more inclusive, and we're going to have women, and we're going to have men, and we're going to have African Americans in this, and it's going to be all different types of people. And I'd like to see if this actually holds up at the end of the day.
Another question I have to ask, Harvey Weinstein, who typically we talk about always when we're talking about Hollywood, but of course with the Me Too movement, but he wasn't nominated
No,
this
he
year.
wasn't. And actually, fun fact, I looked this up before we chatted, he only had 1 film that would have been in contention for nominations this year, and they actually pulled his name off of the producing list for that film, and then that film never even really saw the light. I mean, it came out in October, Wind River, but it never really did much.
Quite a shakeup this year. Thank you so much, Gwen, for stopping by and breaking down all of this. So now we just pretty much have to wait until March
4th
to see it all.
See what Jimmy Kimmel's up to.
Thank you so much, Gwen.
Thanks, Alicia.
When we come back, we're talking about